All right, everyone, here we go with the Soulmate Journey update. One deck for the DF, one deck for the DM. I thought I'd change the decks up a little bit for this. Usually I use this one and the other big light seer. Let's just try this. All right, let's see where we go. We shuffle the deck for the DF side. It's a general reading. May or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here, you found Steve Love Cherry, you're here for a reason. This reading is timeless. When you find it, you're meant to find it. Let's see where we go. Curious on the DF side, you had a 7 of Pentacles randomly at the bottom, by the way. I didn't show you, but it was there. They got 2 of Wands. Again, this ties in with a reading I did the other day. What was it? The Mercury reading, where I said somebody's fixated on you, somebody's jammed up to come towards you, or making an ideas about it anyway. Let's see where we go. DF side, what do we get? Bottom of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. Been getting that. Things are kind of turning in your favor here. Yeah. All right. So somebody going to speak some truth. Maybe it's got a 7 swords underneath it. I'll just show you. It's right there. Let's see what's on top. Tower. Yeah, this ties a lot with what we did the other day in the Mercury reading. This is a big deal here. I'm gonna do this reading a little differently. I need to pull this side here and get their base cards right now. Give me the DM side. Ooh, wow. It can be read as a shocking truth coming your way. It could. Or it could be read as somebody you wouldn't expect wasn't honest with you. It's a high-ranking figure in your life, whatever it is. So it's a high-ranking soulmate. It doesn't have to be a parent or anything like that, but it is kind of shocking a little bit, you know. All right, let's see where we go. All right. Yeah, the 8 of Swords. Somebody's been holding on to something. What's the base energy here? Yeah, the Moon. Somebody's been afraid. Somebody's been holding on to something. Somebody's been afraid to share something. Somebody's been afraid to say something. Somebody's been keeping you in the dark about something. And the environmental energy right now is driving them shit, catawampus, absolute crazy. Okay? It really is. It's an 8 of Swords on crack. Okay, now we can clarify. I'm going to use the little animal deck for both. That's what I'm going to do. And I got Justice at the bottom, and I'm just about to pull you, so that matters. All right? Let's shuffle the deck. Give me the Tower. This is interesting. Ties a lot with the Mercury reading, but I think it takes it a little step beyond it in a way. Maybe it ties more with the Mercury extended. I don't know. Wow. Okay. I don't know who this is, but you take note that it showed up. Each of you has major arcana in the base. I mean, you got it crossing too, but that's important. This is a high-level soulmate. I mean, it's a deep soul connection, right? It's not some little fucker at work that you got a little bit of a soul connection with or something like that. This is a big deal. This is shocking. This is a shocking truth revealed. You know, like, you know, you got a deep, deep soul connection with your favorite teacher at school or something like that. And you find out that they're the serial killer in town. I mean, it's that kind of big, shocking news sort of a thing. Okay, I don't know. All right, let's see where we go. Come on now. Tell me about the Tower. Definitely got some information coming your way. I don't think this person can hold on to it too much longer, but I can't predict free will. And this is a minor arcana here for a reason. All right, so you'd be surprised how long people can live in 8 swords. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. All right, it really is. It really is. A lot of it. There's a whole generation living in 8 swords. I was reading an article the other day. The millennials are like the least healthy generation. They suffer from the most stress and anxiety. Their health starts to decline at 27, whereas usual my generation it was about 35. You know, I mean, it's like wow. It's all stress related. That's stress. That's a lot of stress. 8 swords. We get round and round in our head. You know, somebody's very, very nervous. They've been very scared to reveal this to you with the Moon there. All right. I'm still shuffling. I'm just giving you data on the energy that's here. That's all. All right. Bottom of the deck. I'm done now. Bottom of the deck is true. Look at. Come on. I can't make this stuff up. Right? I didn't make up the data on the millennials either. And Gen Z isn't much better. Okay, tell you what. Here we go. Too much social media for them. Too much isolation. It causes kookiness. Just look at some of those stories about some of those influencers that freak out. You know, if you're worried about how many likes you're getting, you got your priorities all wrong. That's empty energy. It's junk food energy. You just want more, and then you want more. I tell everybody, stay off social media. It's what's ruined society. It really is. Most psychologists tell you the same fucking thing. Ace of Swords. You're getting some truth here. You're getting some big fucking truth from somebody. It's red with the Wheel of Fortune, which means it's the opposite, 180 degrees from the truth you'd normally get. What's on top? The Emperor. Wow. Again, what did I say? Rewind. Sometimes people don't like what I say, but fuck it. You know, I mean, I'm just reading the energy. Don't shoot the messenger. I said it's a high-level soulmate. This is a big deal person in your life. It's all four kings. This is not some rinky-dink little somebody at work you got a soul connection with and they lied and they really did take your stapler. I don't give a fuck what happened to your stapler here. Okay? This is a huge deal. This is just somebody here, somebody very, very, very prominent in your life has been afraid to tell you something. And I think they're about to crack with the Eight of Swords there. I feel that. But again, don't be surprised if they don't. And I'm not saying that to cover my ass. I don't give a shit. I don't know you. I'm just reading the damn reading. I'm saying it because I can't predict free will, and I'm telling you, human nature, my studies of people throughout my life, you'd be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't be, how long people will live in 8 swords. They'll just walk around 8 swords, 9 swords energy coming off of them. All right, they'll do it without fixing it, without talking to anybody, I mean, it's amazing to me. I don't know how they do it. It's almost a superpower. Center card here, it's crossed by truth, red with the Wheel of Fortune. It's the Queen of Cups. It's a big deal. This has to do with who you are to them. This is the most love I could pull from the deck. It's the Queen of Cups. This Emperor is coming to give you the full cup, whereas normally they wouldn't. But it's more than that. They only showed you a little bit of what you mean to, that's a Page of Cups underneath that. They only showed you a little bit of what you mean to them on some level. You mean a lot to this person to a point where it's bothering them. But I don't want to go down the road of, there's 1,000 different ways you can read a specific energy. I don't want to go down the taboo road. But for a small, and I mean rinky-dink little small percentage of you, this is something where this person should not have these kind of feelings for you, right? It's like a pastor or a teacher or some kind of fucking parent or, a high-ranking family member or something, a boss, it could be. Any of that. That's for a small number of you. For most of you, it's something you've wanted to hear from this person. It's just shocking. You never thought you would, in other words, okay? All right. But do keep in mind, if it does shock you the other way, I did point that out. Energy can flow. I'm just reading a general reading. I'm just taking it down the middle here. There's a lot of people watching. What's red? And some of you are pretty hot. I don't mind telling you. All right, what's red with the Emperor? 5 of Pentacles. It's a now or never. I talked about, in a recent reading, I talked about sort of a false urgency happening on the DM side. It's a bit of that. It's a FOMO. It's a fear of missing out energy. Somebody here feels like if they don't do it now, it'll never happen. There's a do or die kind of energy here. I have to do this now. I have to say this now. I have to reveal this now. I mean, this is the kind of energy, I won't lie to you, this is the kind of energy that press conferences are made of, where somebody got to confess. I mean, it really is. It's a big deal to them. I think it's shocking to you. It's probably a big deal to you, too. It's how they feel. It's how, you know what? I can do anything I want. It's my fucking reading. Let me take this out. Let me put this right here. Okay? Let me clarify a little more on the Queen of Cups, and then we'll get over here. Okay? All right, let's do it. Tell me a little bit more about that Queen of Cups. Huh. When I see the Seven of Swords, though, when I feel that with the Wheel of Fortune, it's a little bit more than somebody saying, you know, I have deeper feelings for you than you thought. It's more of a case of You got one impression and then made plans based on that impression you had on what's going on between you two. And now they're coming in with this. I feel like it's almost a little annoying on some level. It can be. I mean, that happens in life all the time, you know. You see it play out in comedies all the time on a low level, where you ask the kids if they have to go to the bathroom before you leave, and then everybody, no, I went, no, and then you get like, you get on the freeway, you finally get going, and then everybody got to go to the bathroom, right? It's a bit of that kind of energy. It's the same frequency of energy, it's playing out on a higher level here, but why overcomplicate it, you know? It's a bit of that. In that analogy, you're the parent, right? Okay. Tell me more about the Queen of Cups. Tell me more about the Queen of Cups. Just tell me fucking more. I'm not trying to spend all day on the fucking Queen of Cups. And look who came back. Look who came back. A couple of cats. A couple of cool cats. Justice. There's some sort of, the word finally is attached to this. Like where you go, finally. You know, I think you may have known this all along or suspected it, right? If your math teacher is a serial killer, it's hard not to suspect it a little bit, you know. He had bloodstains on his shirt, I swear. I mean, it's a bit of that, all right? I had one of those. We swore in our little town that he was doing some crazy shit. And it turns out he had a pig farm and he was making his own pork chops. But anyway, we were wrong, but so don't jump to conclusions, but I am using him as an example. Sorry about that, Mr. Rarig. Okay, I think that was his name. 10 of Swords on top of that, and the 4 of Wands. We were all convinced. We had a whole mission going. Turns out it was just pork chops. But I felt bad for the little pigs. Anyway, on top of clarifying the Queen of Cups, I've got crossing it Justice. I've got 10 swords. Why is the Queen of Cups here? 10 swords, and then I got 4 of Wands. It could be something as simple as you thought this person was married and you find out that they're not. It could be you thought this was done. You thought you'd never hear this. Again, it's what I said. It just wants to come out that way. It's something that, you know, you thought you had clear. You made plans and you moved in those directions of those plans. Now somebody coming in with a different message. All right? A little bit. Something you thought was settled is not settled. And it allows for, if you want it, there's justice here. It allows for a new path, a new 10 of Pentacles, a new future for you, if you want it. You're at a point, it's a bit of a crossroads in a way. You're at a point where, you know, you got to pick one Ace of Swords, 2 of Swords. A crossroads is 2 of these. You're at a point, it's one of those interesting points in life where you get to decide. The road's laid, which it's Schrodinger's crossing, right? You're at Schrodinger's crossing here because of this person's admission of something. And it reads as a lie to the universe with the 7 of Swords. I kind of get that. I think it's a liable mission more than anything else, but they've been afraid to reveal it with the moon here. And for some reason, in order to move forward, they have to reveal it. So let's clarify. All right, let's go. Why is the moon here? Let's talk about this. I think I've covered this well. It's good enough. All right, here we go. Let's go. Why are we here? For the record on that teacher thing, you know, when I was a kid, I was still learning how to translate energy, right? It's tricky. Same frequency could play out 1,000 different ways. Technically, I was right. He was killing things. Okay, so, you know, I mean, I wasn't going to get hired by the FBI at that time, I suppose, you know, but technically I had it right. I learned a lot from that miscalculation. I learned about surrounding energies and context and how everything's a kind of a rabbit hole. You need more data than to just make assumptions based on one thing you get. But at that time, yeah, I did that a lot, you know, when you don't know what you're doing. Kids make mistakes all the time. But I was right, technically. All right, here we go. Hey, the pigs matter. You know, poor little pigs. All right, here we go. The moon. I heard the pork chops were good, though. All right. Bottom of the deck here. Red with the 8 of Swords, 6 Wands on their side. Another more minor arcana. That worries me on some level. Well, I mean, It's just because it's up to their free will. And I don't like when it's up to free people. I don't tell you anything that isn't part of the energy here. People will live in 8 swords and 9 swords for a long time and not seek help. And they'll make all kinds of excuses as to why they don't want to. In fact, if you live in 8 swords in particular long enough, you start to like it. If somebody comes to you with a solution to your problem, you feel trapped and they got a solution, you will shoot down their solution. You're not looking for solutions. You're looking for people to feed this negative energy and help you stay in the spiral. You know, it happens all the time. At that point, you just plant the seed and walk away, you know, which is really all you can do with 8 swords anyway. But sometimes it gets out of control. But yeah, somebody here needs to, in the energy, they need to reveal this. They can't take it anymore. That's what the energy says. I believe it to a point, okay, for reasons I've explained. What's on top of the moon here? 5 swords. See, what did I say? I knew it. Damn it. Why you got to clarify, Steve? Now thousands of people are chucking their phones against the wall. Again, I'm costing people lots of... I mean, I'm making the phone companies money, I suppose. 5 swords. The reason they may not, well, how do I phrase this? The reason they're on the fence still, the reason it's up to their free will, whether they come in and yeah, they want to, they know it'd be a good idea, but this person here, it both benefits them and hurts them at the same time. It's a bit of a bittersweet victory for them to reveal this to you. So that's the reason why it might not, you know, if they don't come in, they erred on the side of caution. But I think some of you might, if you figure out who this is, you'll know what you suspect. I told my pig story for a reason, right? I don't want to get Mr. Rarig in trouble, but I mean, you know, he's fine. He's fine. I think he died some time ago, so nobody can bother him. He's in pig hell now. Center card, crossed by the 6 of Wands, red with the 8 of Swords. It's the World. Most powerful card I could pull. Finally, I like that there's major arcana here. I like that a cycle is ending for this person. Something has ended in their life. I said, what we see it here, 10 swords and 4 wands. That's why they're coming to give you the full cup. Whatever that full cup is. Something has ended in their life. Perhaps it's just a cycle of them self-loathing and hating themselves. Perhaps it's a cycle of this. But on the energy side, in the 5D, the ability to stay in 8 swords has ended. Where people go wrong, where it gets batshit crazy, is they keep themselves there anyway. It's the equivalent of the thing I always say where people stay in relationships past the expiration date. We see that in the Leo soap opera, right? That person, whoever that person is that comes in for the Leo soap opera, is way past the expiration date on that toxic situation that they're in. They had some karma, they got the lesson, and then they stayed, you know. Moldy bread left on the counter doesn't get better. Well, we'll just leave it a week. It'll be fine, and we'll eat it then. No, at that point, it'll be all different colors of mold. You know, it's sort of what's going on here. The energy says it's time to do this. This person knows that it's good and bad for them to do it. It's a little bit all right, but it's also not a great idea. Because even if it's something you want to hear, I love you, let's be together, let's get married, let's take it extreme, right? It's something, just catch my drift. It's something you want to hear, I love you, let's get married, whatever. They need to consider whether or not you can discount or look past whatever this is that they kept from you, right? I mean, you don't want to find out on the honeymoon that they don't have a dick chakra, okay? You don't want to find that out. That's not something you want. All right, let's go. What's red with the 5 of Swords? And I called it earlier, didn't I? I don't know why I'm your motherfucking second favorite. I have no idea. I talked about 2 swords here. I talked about a crossroads. I talked about Schrodinger's crossing. Here it is. It's right here. This person is at Schrodinger's crossing. If they decide to come and tell you the truth, take 2 swords and make it 1, you then are at Schrodinger's crossing. And your Schrodinger's crossing is whether or not you can accept whatever it is they're telling you, right? Do you still want to marry this person if they don't have a dick chakra? I don't know. It's up to you. You know, it's a bit of that. So they're in the same boat. It's what I said about this card. Somebody here, it's good of them to tell you, but it also has some bad sides. It's a bit bittersweet. It's a bit of a false victory. It's a bit of a wobbly victory, we'll call it. They're at a crossroads. Will they or won't they? I can't say. I can't predict free will, and I've explained to you that people could stay in 8 swords for a long time. In fact, past the point with the world here, the world says it's time to get out of it. The universe says it's time to get out of it. If they stay in it, they become the excuse machine. They become the person that you go to with solutions. I can solve all your problems. Here you go. Here are the solutions to all your problems. And they just don't want them. They won't even read it, right? They won't even see it. You know, send them a link to something that, oh, read this. It'll help clear your head. They'll never click the link. They don't want to. You get to liking it when it's past where it's supposed to be. Okay, that's what I got. I don't think I need to pull a center around. I will if you want me to. But let's just see if there's anything else the universe wants to tell you. Let's pull one card and a crossing card. We've already done this one different anyway. So let's pull one card and a crossing card. If nothing else, if this is like you all wanted a small percentage here, 10, 12% or whatever, where this just isn't for you right now and its future influence, you learn something about human nature here. Pay attention to people. I mean, seriously, if you sit back as a neutral observer and just go people watch sometimes, you will see what I mean. You'll learn a lot. You know, this right here, yeah, I get it. But yeah, if they decide to come towards you, it puts you at Schrodinger's crossing. If they don't decide to come towards you, if they don't talk to you about this or reveal what they've been hiding, then know that you've got a high-level soulmate around you who's keeping something from you, who's keeping something that's keeping them up at night, bothering them, making them feel trapped, right? I see this a lot with people that go into relationships with a lie. They lied about something. One side will say, this side lied about something. Then you go into a relationship with them, and they spend the whole relationship batshit crazy worried that lie is going to get revealed, or that you're going to find out, or that whatever, right? It's the same frequency of energy would play out that way. It could play out that way too. So this could be somebody you're already in a relationship with, right? They got something going on. No, baby, I ain't got no debt. I'm fine. Yeah, no, we good. They showing up. They got like 30 grand on credit cards that they're not telling you about. Some kind of shit like that happens all the time. And they're worried you're not going to get caught. They're playing all kinds of loosey-goosey shit in the background. So you better hope that this person does come and tell you. Otherwise, you've got somebody attached to you on an emperor level that's keeping something from you. And it's more than just how they feel about you. This is way more than that. All right. Anyway, I've given you pretty much the gist of a good chunk of the energies attached to this. But again, the same frequency of energy can play out 1,000 different ways. So take it as it resonates. Don't freak out about this and start interrogating people in your life. All right, just be cool. There's no devil here. There's nothing that hurts you, per se. If anything, it's a little annoying. That's kind of how I feel it. Like the kids in the back of the car that said they didn't have to pee. And then we get on the freeway, we finally move, and now you got to fucking pee. Fucking asshole. Right? It's a bit of that. All right, let's go. One card, the crossing card. I think they do it on purpose. All right, one card, the crossing card. Let's see where we go. My father was smart. When I was a kid, we had a coffee can in the back. He'd like, well, there you go. Tell you what, okay. Yep, there you go. You go in the can. All right. Star card crossed by the 9 of Wands is a final message to you from the universe. Some kind of barrier that prevented this person from revealing what they're hiding is on its last legs. Okay, so this is saying there's a good chance they reveal it. So in the world of Schrodinger's crossing here, there's a good chance, because you got the Ace of Swords over here, which is one of these swords, there's a better than average chance that somebody opens up to you. It could also, these cards also tell me with the star, it could also be future influence for a number of you. So don't discount this reading, bookmark it. You may need it. All right? It absolutely, you're like, oh, this reading sucks. This isn't for me right now. I get you. I get you. But I would bookmark it. The star coming out here is a big deal. You're not that far away from it. All right? And sometimes it's people you least suspect. All right? This is that same kind of energy. Anytime anybody gets some kind of crazy crime happens in the neighborhood, the news always comes and interviews people. They go, well, you never would have suspected it was him. You know, he was always so nice. He helped build the playground, right? All that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's always that fucker, right? Always. Because sociopaths are good at that. That's what they do, you know. They may even inject themselves into investigations and things like that. It's a bit of that energy. So again, it's keep that in mind as well. It might be future influence for you. And look for evidence that might reveal it. Is somebody you're in a relationship with, or some high-level soulmate acting a little squirrely? You know, take a look around for that. But I did want to point out that it might be future influence for a certain percentage of you watching. All right. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. Good luck.